So I have to admit, Game 3 was going pretty well for a while. I mean, Moutier was doing his normal thing, making his defenders question their self-esteem whenever they were up on him, driving to the rim. LaMarcus Aldridge's feelings were getting hurt because the guy couldn't score on Thon Maker. And as a result, we had a 10-point lead into the fourth quarter. And then, a saying that I've said more than once in this series, the frickin' Spurs. You know, Kevin Martin, who's got to be on his last legs, he hits a three-pointer on us. And then, while Gallinari scored in the paint, which is probably like the fourth time he's done that this entire series, which is like 60 episodes at this point, San Antonio just wouldn't stop. I took a jumper with KJ McDaniels, which I'm still questioning to this day. And then, Tony Parker just decides, I'm just going to score on like 4 nuggets in the paint. There was legitimately like 4 of us, and of course Thon Maker was in there. And then Tony Parker decides to become Scottie Pippen when he's defending Moutier. And as a result, Spurs took a 2-1 lead on us after Moutier's missed 3 here. And we faced some adversity in Game 2. We're really facing it now. In San Antonio with a chance to go down 3-1. We can't allow that to happen. And really, the game plan through the first 3 quarters of Game 3, they were fine. I mean, I was cool with them. It's just a matter of just stay focused, you know? If we want to get anime on each other real quick, this is just the steps you got to take if you want to be a championship team. We cannot allow Tony Parker to suddenly become the defensive Michael Jordan again for a 2-minute stretch. We can't deal with the fact that Kawhi's cornrows are going to hit a couple of ridiculous 3-pointers. We just can't. We got to deal with it. We got to fight through it, as they say. And so, as ritual with this series against the Spurs, I always have to start off with the Thad Young pick and roll on LaMarcus Aldridge, because that's always my game plan when I go into this, and then about 5 minutes into the thing, I just forget what I'm doing. Tony Parker's trying to continue what he was doing, but I was ready for it that time. You see, before, I didn't think he was actually going to shoot the ball, so I didn't bother jumping, and I paid the price, but this time, and it's 8-0 right now, and oh my goodness, Tony Parker. He just scaled the clock back about 5 seasons. Even Greg Popovich was surprised by that one. But even with all this, the Moutier drive to the basket is too real. And we're up 12 too early. But, as we remember, San Antonio, I mean, they're going to come back on us. They've done it the entire series up to this point. We leave Kawhi Leonard wide open, which is always a great thing to do. And then at the end of the first quarter, Jusuf Nurkic shows off whatever the hell that was supposed to be. And so at the end of the first, we're up 7 points. I like it. Feeling good. Feeling great. In San Antonio. And then this dude who I've never heard of says, let me get a 3-point play. I could easily just pause the video right now and look at that guy's name. Was it Isaiah Briscoe, I believe? Shout out to him. I'm sure he's in college right now. He'll probably be a fine player who will annoy me in 2K in some other way. But in the meantime, Kawhi Leonard just shot a 3-pointer over 2 dudes. And just like that, it's already a 1-point game again. We got to call a timeout ourselves. And holy crap, look at how much emotion Kawhi Leonard is showing right now. You would have thought that he just had a newborn son or something, how happy he was. And then Moutier just had to do a nice little twirling layup because, when the Spurs get too comfortable, all I got to do is just give the ball to our point guard and it's all fine. And Danny Green, you got a little overzealous on that pass, and Gallo the God with the 3. I screw up the lob to Moutier. I would say I screw up about 1 to 3 lobs a game to Moutier. They just don't always make it into the footage. Martin there, 5-point game, and holy crap, we're really shooting 62% from the field. Good God. That's just kind of a joke, to be honest. Kawhi, who's really developed a solid post-game IRL, misses that over Nigel. And then, down here, Nurkic working on Diaw. Now, Diaw is actually a pretty big boy, so I can't back him down, but I can get around him. Nurkic makes up for the fact that he looked like a third grader with that layup earlier, giving us a nice 8-point lead at this point. And I'm happy for Nurkic that he comes off the bench now. Such a perfect role for him. What the hell was I doing here? Every now and then when Pierre Jackson has the ball, I just gotta say, let's try to score with him. And I thought I had some space on LaMarcus. I did not. I apologize, Pierre. And I also apologize because with 7 seconds left, we got to go the length of the floor. But then LaMarcus Aldridge thought, I already played defense once, I don't have to do it again. And he screwed up for it. Fourth quarter now, 9-point lead. Moutier's still not in the game yet because he's got to be ready with about 7 minutes left. That's usually when I put him back in there. Might not be the right decision, though, because here come the Spurs. We've had leads we might have had a lead in every single fourth quarter in this series, and then the Spurs, they find a way. They're so composed, you know? This is how the storyline goes. The young, talented Nuggets who come out of nowhere, they look really good, but at some point, maybe we start to tense up or whatever, and then the veteran Spurs who just had to kind of get through the regular season, they show us that we still have a bit of learning to go through, and how the hell does Cole Aldridge get that rebound? You know 2K is pulling it out all on you when they're just grabbing every offensive rebound in sight. That's the worst. Kawhi in the pick and roll might be second worst, but luckily that's his first miss of probably the entire series, let's be honest. And then Thon Maker, I tried to go to work on Cole Aldridge, but the guy became Shaquille O'Neal for about the last 2 minutes, and then Moutier. Whew, that was a mean three-pointer. Our star player did something, so you imagine that Kawhi's cornrows are going to try to do something. He gets by Thon, and Kawhi, you really shouldn't have passed that off. If you get Thon Maker out of the paint, just shoot the ball, because it's a gift, the fact that you're in that situation. And speaking of Thon Maker, I need him to pull up like some black hole pick and roll on Danny Green. Moutier, oof. Was that double clutch layup to give us a 7-point lead? So let's see if Popovich thought of anything crazy out of a timeout. You gotta imagine he came up with something, right? Kawhi with a long two-pointer? Is that Scott Brooks? Is Scott Brooks coaching the Spurs now? What the hell was that, Pop? Even so, it's still a 5-point game because the offensive rebounds are pretty real right now for San Antonio. I was ready on Tony Parker that time with Moutier. We've seen Moutier in a situation like this before. Just kind of stares at Tony Parker for a second and goes, "You know you can't defend me, right? You know you can't defend me, right? Let me get around this corner," and then, oh God, what the hell did I just do? I thought Moutier was going drive. He pulled up. I said, crap, let me pass the ball off. And is that going to be the reason we lose this game and go down 3-1? We still have a 5-point lead, so we should be okay. Oh my God. L.A. LaMarcus Aldridge, who's been missing mid-range shots left and right, decides to hit a shot from Zeus on me. I decided not to drive that in with Moutier. Maybe I should have. Similar situation to what we just had, but can the Spurs stop it twice? Will I not pass the ball to someone in the front row? Well, Thad Young there, KJ, you better cut. Ooh, very good. I love when the CPU reads my mind, because when it doesn't happen, I get furious. So when they do what I want them to do, you know I'm going to be happy. So then after Gallinari shoots a few free throws, 3-point lead, you can tell from the timestamp on this video that either they hit a shot and then the next video is going to be overtime, or it's a 2-2 series. That's exactly what it is. Between us and the Spurs, this is now a 3-game series. We're going back to Denver, if I can remember how the hell playoff series in the NBA work. Let me just set the storyline now for you. The veteran Spurs up against the young Nuggets. 3-game series, back to Denver. Moutier's My Career trail continues. This is going to be pretty real. As for them, Kawhi killed us, but we did a much better job on Tony Parker.